Looks like the Detroit Lions are going to lose a name that was considered to be the front runner for our offensive coordinator position before that position was officially filled this morning by John Morton. And yes, Adam Schefter used Johnny Morton yesterday. I just read it as is. I knew he meant John Morton, not to be confused with Johnny Morton, number 87, the former Detroit Lions wide receiver from the late 80s and early 90s. But looks like Aaron Glenn is going to start poaching some coaches as well. Tanner Engstrand is probably going to be the new offensive coordinator. This is coming from Josina Anderson's Twitter account. Says, I'm told Lions pass coordinator Tanner Engstrand name is already involved in substantial discussions for the pending Jets offensive coordinator role per a league source. Steve Wilks' name has come up in discussion for the Jets defensive coordinator vacancy per league source. Now, this is not Tanner. This is Tanner. He looks like David Blau a little bit, but this is not Tanner. You cannot always rely on Google images. Now, let me just be very clear. Aaron Glenn taking coaches kind of sucks, but it does not compare, in my opinion, to the poaching of Liquid Snake. Now, if you don't like me calling Ben Johnson Liquid Snake, I don't know what to tell you, because as Miles Morales said in Across the Spider-Verse, I'm going to do my own thing. Calling it childish, whatever you want to call it, that's what I'm going to call him, is Liquid Snake. You can call him whatever you want. You can also watch whatever channel you want. That is the beauty about YouTube. It is you. You get to watch whatever you desire. So Liquid Snake, it is until I feel like calling him something else. But I'm not really tripping on this because people who leave coaching staff, they're going to take people. But Aaron Glenn is not only he's not even in the division, he's in a whole different conference. So it's a whole different thing. Coaching inside of your division is just low. I don't care what it is. He did what's best for his family. As a fan, I'm supposed to hate this move. This has nothing to do with, oh my God, Ben Johnson, Liquid Snake did so good for his family. It ain't about that. This is all on the field stuff, all right? And as far as the field standpoint, now he is our enemy. That is the bottom line. Despicable, period. That's how that is. But anyway, back to Tanner. This is actually quite intriguing to me because there was a name that was kind of coming up very early on in the hiring of Aaron Glenn, which was Mark Brunell as his potential offensive coordinator. We have not heard any word on Brunell finding another coaching job and leaving the Detroit Lions. But yet, when Tanner... There were both of those names, Tanner and Mark, were in line to be the new OCs. Not in line, but rumored to maybe be in the running for the new offensive coordinators for the Detroit Lions. But now neither one of them are. We went with John Morton instead. And now it went from Mark Brunell to Tanner. Kind of intriguing to see what's going on there as to why Tanner was not elevated. Remember I said something when we found out that John Morton had been interviewed, that there was a reason that Tanner was not, there was a reason that John was being interviewed, because Tanner was like the offensive version of Kelvin Shepard. So this is a bit of a surprise that he wants Tanner, who was probably, and I'm wondering if Aaron Glenn wants Tanner because Tanner was assumed to be the successor of Liquid Snake. And with that being the case, the Jets offense, even without Aaron Rodgers, is lethargic. So they're going to need some type of injection of creativity and a boost because their offense is stale. Their defense has been carrying that team for years. And it's good that Aaron Glenn went over there because he's a defensive-minded coach, former defensive coordinator. He's going to fit right in over there. When he was interviewing for the job, he said he's a defensive mind coach, but he's a football player and football coach. So the offense should be easy, for him to pick up. So I'm not surprised totally by this because we got more Detroit Lions coaching staff that's probably going to be poached. When you go 15-2, you're the number one seed. Yeah, we got bounced out, which sucks. When you're the number one seed, you're going to draw interest, right? So anyway, my mustache hair, man, got to trim it because it's getting crazy. Not surprised at this at all. I'm probably more surprised with it not being Mark Brunell. Tanner is 42 years old. He's had quite the history as a coach. You ready? It's quite lengthy. He spent the majority of his time, his beginning of his coaching career in 2005. San Diego that's where he was the coach at. He was the coach there from 2005 to 2017. So he had a 12-year career there. Then he was an offensive analyst in Michigan in 2018, or at Michigan. He was with the DC Defenders in 2020 as the offensive coordinator and running back coach. He came to the Detroit Lions in 2020, which was right before Dan Campbell got here. Yes, because Matt Patricia was fired the 2020 season. Yes. So he was here. He came at the end of his, as Matt Patricia was going out. And in 2021, he was the offensive quality control for the Detroit Lions. 2022, the tight ends coach. He took over for Liquid Snake when he wound up becoming the offensive coordinator. Remember that in 2022 after, because remember, Anthony Lynn was the offensive coordinator. He was demoted. Dan Campbell took over. And then I remember it like it was yesterday as we were going into 2022 and we found out that Liquid was going to be the new offensive coordinator. People were asking Dan Campbell how long was he going to call the plays on the offense. So Tanner became part of the Detroit Lions in 2020 as the offensive assistant. In 2021, he was the offensive quality coach. In 2022, he took over for Liquid as the tight end coach and passing game coordinator. And now he is the passing game coordinator for 2023 to present. Right now, currently still on the Detroit Lions roster, but I fully expect him to be the next offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. Now, remember, Aaron Glenn said that he wanted a former head coach as the defensive coordinator, and that's what Steve Wilks is going to be. I believe Steve Wilks was the Cardinals coach at one point in time. He might have had an additional coaching duties as far as head coaching duties, but I think he was the Cardinals coach at one time not too long ago, and that's going to be the defensive coordinator. I fully expect Tanner to be the offensive coordinator because Mark Brunell's name has pretty much disappeared. It looks like he's going to stay with the Detroit Lions. The only coaching job now that needs to be filled, head coaching job, is the New Orleans Saints, and I don't think he's going to go over there. So it looks like Mark Brunell is probably going to remain the Detroit Lions QB coach, and that's going to be a big deal because with the loss of Liquid, we need some type of continuity when it comes to Jared Goff being in our quarterback room, and Mark Brunell will bring that to him. Probably next year, Mark Brunell will be a coordinator at some point, so expect that to happen, but there you go. That is, Glenn is eyeing Tanner for his new OC. That is an O, by the way. It does kind of look like a D, but that is an O. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. Just wanted to kind of give you guys an update. We are at 29,130 subscribers. We're on a goal to get to 30K by Super Bowl Sunday. That is a little under 2 weeks. That's a lot of ground to cover with not a lot of Detroit Lions news. So if you want raw, unfiltered, emotional fan takes that and a person that will never lie to you, then consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. There are about 50% of you guys that are not subscribed. I don't really ask for subscriptions because I want you guys to do it on your own. Just like a little kid, man, when you tell somebody, you know, one of them people, I'm one of those people. I don't like being told what to do, right? So I understand if you don't, but if you thought you have, maybe consider subscribing. I would love to see 30K by Super Bowl Sunday. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.